Good morning. Welcome to the morning shift with Ann. What's up? Does fear stop you? Are you afraid to do some of the things that you want to do? Well, stay tuned for a few tips of how you can overcome fear in your life. Fear. We know that fear can stop us from getting what we really want. When I was younger, I was actually a fearful child in some ways. I was afraid to go up and buy things from a store. I was afraid to go anywhere by myself. I was fearful of meeting new people. I always had to have somebody holding my hand. I was afraid to go to my first dance class, for God's sake. You wouldn't think so, but at first I was really apprehensive about unfamiliar situations. I like to stay home a lot. This changed for me as time went on, but I still have a feeling of fear when I'm in unfamiliar territory. I've learned to deal with it, and here are some of the things that I have used myself to combat fear. Here comes my list, because I think fear sucks, and most of the time our fears are unfounded or unnecessary, and the things we fear are really just imagined. The things we fear about the future, they never come true. So here's 5 useful tips for dealing with fear. Think it through. Number one. Think it through. Think about what scares you or a scenario that you're fearful of and think it through as if it already happened. These aren't like fears of dying or anything like that. I'm talking about goal setting and scary stuff in your life, not true danger. So think it through as if you were going through the motions of what it is you're trying to achieve and then achieving it. And then if you didn't like it, how would you get back to where you are right now? And the strange thing is, you would not want to get back to where you are right now. So follow it to the end and then back, and you'll be surprised how much this dissipates the fear. Number 2, clear your mind and meditate. I find that relaxation and getting calm will often help with the fear. It'll help you also find answers to your problems when you just take a moment to reflect and draw near to your source or your higher self. Just a few minutes of quiet meditation can truly soften the feelings of being scared or fearful of attempting something, and it'll prevent you from continuing to be afraid. That's a good thing. Number 3, ask yourself if the fear is really true. Can you be sure that this is real? Is it imagined? Are you making this up? Oftentimes, it's just something in our mind, and it's really not something that's actually true. It's just a fear of what people think, stuff like that. Number 4, acknowledge the fear and seek support, because sometimes the simplicity of just having someone tell you, everything's going to be okay, this can help quiet your feelings of fear. Everything's going to be okay. Number 5, seek knowledge, because knowledge is power. And sometimes fear of the unknown is just not knowing what to expect. And so this can help shed the light on whatever it is that you're unsure of. You know, fear is sneaky and sometimes it's a little confusing. And the best thing to do with fear is to face it and walk into it. As long as it's not putting you in harm's way, I think gaining some knowledge of the situation will help. So generally it's just fear of silly things like talking to someone or bringing something up or asking for what you need or setting boundaries. That's a big one. Sometimes we're just afraid to do it because someone might not be happy about it. But these things are important, and we should not be afraid of those things. We should not be afraid of other people and their opinions or their judgments unless they're going to attack you. I mean, that's a whole nother subject, though. That's not what we're talking about here. This is just like being afraid of people's opinions because we can't give them that kind of power. It's just not correct. Our opinion is the most important, so don't be afraid of what other people will think. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be okay. It's okay to take risks. You'll find that the bigger the risk, sometimes the bigger the reward. And if you fail, It just teaches you something. So there's that knowledge, and then you go on and you try again with more knowledge this time. So there's really nothing to be afraid of. Those 4 little tips will help you, and hopefully you can just face that fear and walk into it like a brave soul, like the brave soul that you are. I believe in you, and everything's going to be all right. So go face the day, and I will see you tomorrow.